Before you speak one more sentence in English, just stop for a second. Because in the next few minutes, we're going to explain why your mind goes blank, why your hands get a little shaky, and why one small speaking habit can help you more than an entire extra year of grammar books.
That's a bold way to open an episode, James.
It's an honest way to open it, Sophia. This isn't a just believe in yourself episode. There's a real physical reason your brain and body react this way. And once you actually understand it, you'll never see your own fear the same way again.
Okay, now I'm genuinely curious. Hey, English learners, welcome back to the Professor English podcast, the friendly place where we learn easy English through real, everyday conversations. I'm Sophia.
And I'm James. Today, we're not just talking about fear in general. We're going to take it apart, piece by piece, like taking apart a machine, so you can actually see why it happens.
And once you understand how the machine works,
It stops controlling you. That's basically the whole episode in one sentence.
later in Word Tour, we'll slow down today's strongest words, the ones we use when fear takes over.
And in Say It Better, we'll take those heavy thoughts learners often say to themselves
Like, everyone can hear how bad my English is.
and turn them into kinder, stronger sentences you can actually use.
And if you want to keep practicing after the episode, the Professor English Club has the transcript, vocabulary review, quizzes, games, and shadowing practice waiting for you.
So you don't just understand today's episode.
You actually practice it.
So if speaking English feels frightening, stay right here with us.
Because the first thing we need to understand is the freeze.
That moment when your mind suddenly goes empty.
And your mouth simply refuses to move.
Right. Most people assume, I froze because my English just isn't good enough. But that's not actually what's happening.
Then, what is happening?
Your brain is quietly running a safety check on you. In half a second, it's asking, is this situation safe? Will people laugh? Do I look silly right now? And while it's asking all of that, it's also trying to translate, build a sentence, and check the grammar.
That's an enormous amount of work for one tiny moment.
Far too much work. And here's the part that genuinely surprised me. All of this happens faster than you can even notice. Your body reacts before your brain has even finished the thought. That's exactly why your heart races before you even understand why.
I want to slow down here, because this is the part so many learners blame themselves for. They think, why am I panicking? It's only one sentence.
But to the brain, it may not register as one small sentence. It may feel like an actual social test.
Oh, that explains so much. A learner might be silently thinking, please don't judge me. Please don't laugh. Please don't notice my accent.
And sometimes the brain starts expecting embarrassment before anything bad has even happened yet.
Expect here means the brain prepares for something before it actually occurs.
Someone is watching you. Someone is waiting for your answer. Someone might judge your grammar, your pronunciation, or your accent.
And that can make you overly aware of yourself.
Overly aware of yourself means you notice every detail, your voice, your accent, every tiny pause.
That sounds exhausting just to describe.
It genuinely is. And sometimes we read people's expressions completely wrong, too.
Reading something wrong means understanding it in a way that isn't actually correct.
Yes, and this is such an important point. Someone might look serious, but that doesn't automatically mean they're judging your English. Maybe they're tired. Maybe they're simply thinking. Maybe that's just their resting face.
That's very true. Some people look serious even when everything is completely fine.
But your brain might still whisper, be careful, this could go badly.
Especially if you've had a rough speaking experience before.
Maybe someone once laughed at your pronunciation.
Maybe someone corrected you in a harsh way.
Maybe you made one mistake in a meeting and your mind replayed it all evening.
That replay can genuinely hurt. Same mistake, same sentence, over and over again.
And after that, staying quiet starts to feel like the safer option.
Silence says, no mistakes today. No embarrassment today.
But silence has a hidden cost.
It does. It protects you for today, but it quietly teaches your brain that speaking is dangerous tomorrow, too.
Okay, but I want to challenge something here.
Go ahead.
I don't think simply naming it, your brain is scanning for danger, is enough. Because just knowing the reason doesn't automatically make the freeze disappear.
True. Knowing why a smoke alarm goes off doesn't actually stop the noise.
Exactly. And that's where so many learners get stuck. So, what actually helps?
I think it starts here. You train your brain that speaking is safe by doing it in tiny doses, again and again, until your body stops treating it like a threat.
And by tiny, we genuinely mean tiny.
One voice message, one coffee order, one question in a meeting, one sentence like, I'm still practicing, so I might speak a little slowly.
That single sentence alone can lower the pressure enormously.
That single sentence alone can lower the pressure enormously.
And it tells your own body, I don't have to perform flawlessly right now.
So don't try to defeat fear with pure willpower. Give your brain small proof, again and again, that speaking can actually be safe.
Gently disobey your fear, one sentence at a time.
I really like that.
And one of the fastest ways to send that message is through your voice.
Which brings us to something odd, but genuinely useful.
Here's something that honestly surprised me. The way one person speaks can shift the entire feeling in a room almost instantly.
Like a mood quietly spreading.
Sort of, yes. If someone speaks in a calm, steady voice, the people nearby relax a little too, without even realizing it. If someone speaks quickly and nervously, the whole room becomes slightly tenser.
So our own nervousness can actually spread to other people.
It can. But here's the encouraging flip side. Calm can spread too.
Wait, so if I walk into a meeting feeling shaky and I deliberately slow my voice down, even just a little,
It can genuinely calm you down. And calm the room a little too. Not magic, just how people naturally respond to one another.
I love that. It means you don't need to feel confident first. You can simply slow your voice down, and the confidence tends to follow a little behind it.
Confidence follows like a slow friend who's always running a bit late.
That's such a James thing to say.
And also completely true. Fear wants speed. Fear says, talk fast and escape.
But calm says, take one extra second.
Right, and here's where it becomes genuinely practical. Imagine someone asks in a meeting, what's your opinion? Your heart jumps. You want to rush and finish quickly. But instead, you begin with one steady sentence.
I have one idea.
Then you pause.
Maybe we could try this next month.
That's simple English, but it sounds calm because the rhythm itself is calm.
So confidence isn't only about vocabulary.
Sometimes, confidence is simply rhythm.
And if your voice shakes a little,
Let it shake. A shaky voice isn't failure. It's just nervous energy leaving your body.
what you feel inside is often much bigger than what people actually hear outside.
Exactly. So don't judge the entire conversation based on how nervous you felt. Ask a better question instead. Did my meaning actually reach the other person?
And if meaning is really the goal, then maybe we don't need the biggest words available.
We need the clearest ones instead.
Let's break a common myth here. A lot of learners believe, I need bigger words to sound intelligent in English.
Massive myth. Absolutely huge.
Explain that.
People trust simple, clear sentences far more than complicated ones. If you use a long, impressive word you're not fully confident about, and it comes out slightly wrong, it actually makes you sound less confident, not more.
So a short, clear sentence beats a long, shaky one.
Every single time. Simple isn't weak. Simple is strong.
I think this matters because so many learners feel embarrassed about speaking simply.
Yes, they assume simple means basic, but simple can be professional. Simple can be mature. Simple can be sharp.
Sharp.
Clear and precise. like a clean blade with no unnecessary decoration. Just genuinely useful.
That image actually works well.
I learned this the embarrassing way, of course.
Oh, good. A James story.
Years ago, I was on a call and desperately wanted to sound impressive. Instead of simply saying, "We need a better plan," I attempted something like, "We need to holistically recalibrate our overall approach."
That is an extremely James sentence.
It got worse from there. I started confidently. Then, halfway through, I completely lost my own train of thought. I'd used the fancy word, misplaced the small idea, and finished the sentence in total confusion.
Total confusion.
That's the painful lesson. If I had simply said, "We need a better plan," everyone would have understood me instantly.
That's genuinely useful because the goal was never to impress them. The goal was always to communicate clearly.
Right. When you're nervous, big words become like heavy furniture crammed into a small room. You keep bumping into them.
So use simple words whenever the pressure is high.
In a meeting, instead of saying, "The schedule might not be achievable given our current constraints," you could simply say, "I think we need more time."
Or, we may not have enough people right now.
Or, "Could we revisit the deadline?"
Short, clear, useful.
And so much easier to actually finish saying.
Okay, I want to disagree just slightly here.
Here we go again.
I think there's genuine value in stretching yourself occasionally, trying a slightly bigger word sometimes, purely to grow. If you only ever play it safe with simple words, you never actually build new ones.
Okay, that's actually a fair balance. Simple as your foundation. New words as practice, but never as your safety net in the exact moment you're nervous.
There we go. Back to the middle ground again.
Practice new words when the pressure is low. In a voice message, with a friend, while shadowing, or even in a comment.
But when fear is already knocking on the door,
Use words you already fully control.
and if you still genuinely don't know what to say,
Don't panic. You might not need an answer immediately.
you might need a question instead.
Here's a fun fact. Asking questions doesn't only help the other person, it actually helps you too.
How exactly?
When you ask someone a question, their brain gets a small burst of genuine interest and energy. People generally love being asked about themselves. So instead of panicking about what to say next, you can simply ask something.
So if I freeze completely, I can just ask a question back?
Exactly. What do you mean by that? Could you tell me a bit more? It buys you valuable time, it takes pressure off you, and it makes the other person feel genuinely good. A triple win.
That's such a simple trick. I've actually used this before, without even realizing there was a name for it.
See, you're already smarter than you give yourself credit for.
But the idea itself is powerful. A question shifts the pressure within the entire conversation.
Exactly. If someone says, "What do you think?" and your brain suddenly freezes, you don't have to produce a perfect opinion immediately. You can simply ask, "Could you explain that last part again?"
Or, what's the main goal here?
Or, "Could you give me an example?"
These questions aren't a sign of weakness.
No, they buy you time, and they actually make the whole conversation clearer for everyone.
I really want learners to hear this part. Asking someone to repeat or explain something doesn't mean your English is poor.
It means you're actively taking care of the communication.
In real life, strong speakers ask for clarity constantly.
Especially in online meetings, where everyone somehow sounds like they're speaking from inside a tin can.
That's painfully accurate.
So ask the question. Could you repeat that last part? Could you say that a bit more slowly? What exactly do you mean?
A question is like a small door leading back into the conversation.
I like that. See, this is exactly why Sophia is here. I say tin can, she says small door.
We balance each other out perfectly.
We really do.
So far, we've covered voice, simple words, and questions. But there's one more problem learners run into.
The giant sentence.
Exactly. The sentence that begins with total confidence and ends completely lost in the woods.
Let's talk about those woods for a second.
Let's talk about overly long sentences. Many learners try to build one enormous, perfect sentence entirely in their head before saying anything.
And it usually collapses halfway through.
Right. And this is exactly where we can make speaking feel much lighter. Here's a better approach. Speak in small pieces, short sentences. Pause, then another short sentence.
A piece here just means one small unit of language, and small pieces are far easier to control when you're feeling nervous.
People's attention actually holds better with short pieces anyway. Long, non-stop talking loses people quickly, even in your own native language.
So, breaking things into pieces isn't only easier for you, it's actually easier for the listener too.
It's a genuine win for both sides. Short and clear beats long and shaky, every time.
Let's give one quick example and keep it genuinely simple.
Please, no giant example hiding inside the giant sentence section.
A learner might want to say, I couldn't complete the report yesterday because several urgent tasks came up suddenly, and I was also waiting on a colleague to send me some numbers.
That sentence isn't wrong exactly. It's just heavy.
So break it into smaller pieces. I couldn't finish the report yesterday.
Pause,
A few urgent tasks came up.
pause,
I was also waiting on some numbers from a colleague.
pause.
So I need a little more time,
That feels so much easier to say.
and much easier to actually hear, too.
Every short sentence gives your brain a small win. You finish one thought, then you build the next one.
Like stepping across stones in a river.
One stone at a time.
Speaking in small pieces means you don't need the whole bridge built before you start.
You just need the very next stone.
And if you forget a word along the way,
You simply explain around it.
Sophia, have you ever actually done that in real life?
Oh, absolutely. Actually, that reminds me of a small keys story.
A keys story?
Yes. I once completely forgot the word for keys in the middle of telling a story about getting locked out of my own apartment. Total blank.
What did you do?
I just said, the small metal thing you use to open your door. And the person laughed and said, oh, your keys. And honestly, that moment made the story better, not worse.
See, that's genuine proof of something important. A real story, even a slightly messy one, stays with people far more than a perfectly correct sentence ever will.
People remember how you made them feel, not whether every single word was flawless.
That should genuinely be printed on a wall somewhere.
Write it down, James.
You know I won't.
I know, but I also know learners really need this idea. Forgetting a word is not the end of a conversation.
It certainly feels like the end, inside your own head.
Yes, but from the outside, it's usually just a brief pause.
And sometimes it actually becomes the most human part of the whole conversation.
If I had stopped and said, oh no, I'm terrible at English, the whole moment would have turned heavy. But instead, I stayed inside the story. I described the object. The other person helped me. We laughed, and the conversation simply continued.
That's the real skill, honestly. Continuing on after something goes slightly wrong.
Because something will go wrong sometimes.
Of course it will. You'll forget words, you'll mix up your tenses, you'll start a sentence and completely change direction halfway through. Welcome to being human.
You might trip over your own words sometimes, too.
Tripping over words means the words come out unevenly, with stops, slips, or small mistakes.
But tripping over words doesn't mean the conversation is ruined. It just means you are speaking real, live language.
So learners need small repair phrases.
I forgot the word, but I mean,
Let me explain it a different way.
how do I say this?
Sorry, let me try that again.
These little phrases keep the conversation genuinely alive.
They also tell the listener, I'm still here, I'm still communicating with you.
And this is where I want to be extremely clear. A real conversation is not an exam.
There's no invisible examiner hiding behind the sofa holding a red pen.
I really hope not.
If the other person understands your meaning, the conversation is genuinely working.
Even if your sentence is a little messy,
Even if one word completely disappears,
even if your accent is clearly there.
that's actually a great place to pause for a moment.
Yes, because now we have the core idea of today's episode.
The freeze has a real reason behind it.
And the solution isn't flawless English.
Slow your voice down when fear wants speed.
Use clear, simple words when pressure keeps your brain busy.
Ask questions when you genuinely need more time.
Speak in small pieces when a sentence starts feeling too heavy.
And use repair phrases whenever a word suddenly disappears.
That's plenty for one conversation. We don't need to turn this whole episode into an overstuffed suitcase of tips.
No, now it's time to turn these ideas into language you can actually use. Let's move into word tour. These are today's strongest words and phrases from our conversation.
Our first word is expect.
Expect. Expect.
Expect means to prepare for something before it actually happens.
In today's episode, we talked about how the brain can expect embarrassment before the conversation has even started.
You could say, don't expect failure before you've even tried.
Or, I expected a difficult meeting, but it actually went really well.
Our next phrase is overly aware.
Overly aware. Overly aware.
Overly aware means too focused on yourself, especially your voice, your accent, or your mistakes.
You could say, I feel overly aware of my accent during meetings.
Or, he felt overly aware of his mistakes at first, but he kept speaking anyway.
Our next word is misread.
Misread. Misread.
Misread means to understand something in the wrong way.
You could say, I misread his silence and assumed he was upset.
Or, don't misread one serious face as proof that your English is bad.
Our next phrase is trip over words.
Trip over words. Trip over words.
To trip over words means your speech comes out unevenly, with stops, slips, or tiny mistakes.
You could say, I tripped over my words during the presentation.
Or, even fluent speakers trip over words when they're nervous.
Our next word is peace.
Peace. Peace.
In today's context, a piece means a small unit of language. One short sentence, one phrase, one clear thought.
You could say, I don't need one long sentence. I can speak in pieces.
Or, try breaking your idea into smaller pieces.
Our final phrase is repair phrase.
Repair phrase. Repair phrase.
A repair phrase is a small sentence that helps you continue a conversation when something goes wrong.
You could say, let me explain it a different way.
Or, sorry, let me try that again.
Today's words and phrases were expect, overly aware, misread, trip over words, peace, and repair phrase.
These words give us both sides of today's episode
The fear side.
and the practical speaking tool side.
And if you'd like to practice these words slowly after the episode, the Professor English Club can help with exactly that.
Yes, you can read the transcript, review today's strongest words, try the quizzes and games, and practice the shadowing lines out loud.
So these ideas don't just stay stuck in your head. They become sentences your mouth can actually produce.
And that's exactly why we need Say It Better.
Because sometimes the hardest sentence isn't the one we say out loud.
It's the one we quietly say to ourselves. This is Say It Better,
This is where we take heavy learner thoughts
and turn them into something more honest, natural, and useful.
because sometimes the sentence that hurts us most is never spoken aloud.
It's the sentence running quietly in our own head. First sentence. I know I'm going to embarrass myself.
That sounds so certain, but it might only be fear talking.
A better way to say it is, I might be expecting embarrassment, but that doesn't mean it will actually happen.
That gives fear a name, but it doesn't let fear write the whole story.
Next sentence. Everyone can hear how bad my English is.
Such a common thought.
A better way to say it is, I feel overly aware right now, but most people are probably just focused on my message.
That sounds kinder and far more realistic.
Next sentence. I need one perfect sentence before I even start speaking.
That thought creates so much unnecessary pressure.
A better way to say it is, I can break my idea into smaller pieces and say it one step at a time.
You don't need the entire sentence ready before you begin.
You just need the very next small piece.
That feels so much more achievable.
Final sentence. If I forget a word, the whole conversation is ruined.
That one is scary, but it simply isn't true.
A better way to say it is, I can use a repair phrase and keep the conversation moving forward.
Because forgetting one word doesn't end the conversation.
It just gives you a chance to repair it.
So today's better sentences are,
I might be expecting embarrassment, but that doesn't mean it will actually happen.
I feel overly aware right now, but most people are probably just focused on my message.
I can break my idea into smaller pieces and say it one step at a time.
I can use a repair phrase and keep the conversation moving forward.
Keep one of those sentences with you this week.
Especially before a meeting, a class, a voice message, or any moment where English suddenly feels frightening.
And that brings us to a very simple closing thought.
If your brain freezes this week, don't tell yourself you're bad at English.
Pause. Breathe. Start smaller.
Ask one question.
Use one clear sentence.
And if you trip over a few words, just keep going.
Because speaking English was never about sounding flawless.
It's about staying inside the conversation.
That's your leap for today.
Go take it.
Thank you for listening to Professor English Podcast.
See you next time. Bye for now.